Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I hope that you're well and having a great day. I have for you a haul as well as a project share. I picked up this Crafty Fun collection by Sara Davies back in February when I went to a trade show, which was called Stamporama. It's in Stevenage, England. I picked up a couple of things from there. This is a portion of the collection. I didn't get the entire collection, but let me share with you what I did pick up and also what I created utilizing this collection. So I have this die here. I'm going to go super fast because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. Stamp set here. Those are the sentiments. This stamp set here. I got a really good deal on this also. It was super inexpensive. This die set. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a stamping die set. It just stamps out these and also cuts them out. This embroidery hoop trio. This stamping die set as well. This is not part of this collection, but I use this in my project. This craft bag here. This embossing folder here. This cut and emboss folder here cuts out the frame, and then the embossing detail was in the buttons. And then I picked up this stamp set. This is actually a stamping die set. And all right, so the featuring products that I use are those, and also this stamping die set here. I use that as well. So when I made this purchase, and I've gotten into the habit now of making more purchases that I know have multi-purpose uses and that I know I'm going to use and not just have sitting around. So when I made this purchase, I thought about the many different ways that I could use this bag. And as I got to crafting with it, I was like, okay, I actually came up with a couple additional ways. So I'm going to share those with you as well. I don't know if anybody has this die. I haven't watched any hauls, but if you have this die, it may be available across the pond. You know how they knock off stuff. So if you have this die, I'm going to give you some options on what you can use, well, different ways you can create with it. Also, I use this stamping die set, and I'm going to go into the project and tell you about this stamping die set. So let me share with you my prototypes first. Here are my prototypes, and I just created these with some scraps I had in my scrap bin. I have a bin on the side of my desk that I use pretty frequently. I will create projects Sunday through Thursday, and what's ever left on Friday goes in the garbage. I don't care what it is, it's got to go. If it's in that bin, I toss it. I don't like to have a whole bunch of stuff taking up space just because it's a piece of paper or it's cute. No, it's got to go. So I try to make the most of a paper when I'm using it. I wish I had have saved the scraps, because if you saw the scraps from what I cut out, you would know that it was very little options left on the pieces of paper that I used to cut out my main project. So anyway, these were the prototypes, and let me go into a little bit of detail with the die. So the die cuts out this base. It has a set of buttons, a flower, star. These are some panels for the bag. It cuts out this I Heart Craft, and that cuts out individually 2 very small tags, a detail piece here, this pocket, detail piece for the pocket, and these are the handles, and these are also details for the base of the pockets. So I cut this out in 110-pound cardstock, and again, Another reason why it's good to do a prototype is because I know that for the pockets, they don't need to be cut out in 110-pound cardstock. I did a whole bunch of cracking with it, and it didn't give a good stitching detail on both of the pieces, because this piece has a small score line in which you have to score in order to make this dimensional. So the 110-pound cardstock didn't work for me. So, and then I learned that this was a bear to try to line this up, the word craft. So that's that one. And this is the other one. So those are my prototypes. So as I got more into the project, I had some leftover scraps. I'm going to show you the scraps. Yeah, well, let me just keep going. So I created this. I was making some cards, and I had some few pieces left over of the Maggie Holmes collection, the bloom. So I cut the base out with the bloom, and I just backed it with another piece of cardstock here. So that's what that one looks like. So here is another one I thought turned out super duper cute. And this is where I used that stamp and die set, and I'm going to give you some information about that stamp and die set, just in case you have this in your inventory, and if you don't, if you are thinking about purchasing it. So this is where I cut out the bag and I used the pattern paper, and it allowed me to have a little bit more shapeability with making the pockets more dimensional. This bow came from a mobile from a Cottage Cuts, a baby mobile. So that's a bow from there. So here are the pieces that, get in frame. Here are the pieces that I cut out using that stamp and die set. Sorry. So this is, here, let me go to this one first. So these are, you probably can't see that one very well, but they are so on point that you don't have any wiggle room. I use my Misty to stamp these, but again, the detail is so on point and so delicate that you don't have a margin of error for these ones in terms of trying to line them up. It's a spool of thread. So this is the eye of the, this is the needle, I'm sorry. And it actually stamps the eye of the needle and a piece of thread going through it. And now I'm hoping you can see the detail on that. But again, this is so small and tiny that it gave me the blues trying to stamp it out a little bit. And this is the scissors from the other set, the So Lovely set that I cut out. Super cute. Okay, so this was just another thing that I had just wanted to use my paper up. But this is my featuring project. So I am going to be gifting a friend who was having a baby a gift card and some things to decorate a mini album that I'm creating for her. So here is the bag that I kind of created like a diaper bag. And what I'm going to do is probably embellish it a little bit more. But I had these animals left over. I had a couple other ones. I had these animals left over from the mobile that didn't go onto the featuring page that I created. I don't know what I did with them. So I just had the elephant left over. So I popped it on this, what I'm going to call a diaper bag gift card. Says. So here's the gift card and here's the actual bag. And I just cut out two pieces and adhere them together to make a actual gift card holder. So I'm going to go get her a gift card and stick it in here. And then I actually made a box out of the die. Well, actually, I made a box. So here's the box. I used the Martha Stewart punch for the ends. And I just, you know, created the mechanism for a box. And then I affixed the two craft bags on the end and kind of did them in a rendition of a diaper bag. So I have some dies that I picked up from Scrap and Cottage, some baby dies that I think I'm going to cut out and utilize to add some more detail to those, because the stickers that I have just kind of didn't go. And well, they kind of do, but they kind of don't. I want to actually give these to her so that she can use these in her projects. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. I hope everybody is doing well and practicing your social distancing, since that's going to be a thing for the future, it seems, at least for a while, if you want to stay safe. So again, thanks for tuning in, you guys, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the description box below. Hope everybody is having an amazing day. See ya.